Hey YouTubers, thanks for checking into the video today. Today's review is going to be on my first in a series of reviews on low profile baitcast reels. This particular reel is the Daiwa Morethan PE SV 8.1 T-wing system reel. Now, it is a style of low profile baitcaster. Pretty much a lot of your, you either have spinning reels or casting reels. There's different types of casting reels. There's barrel style, but most commonly used is low profile baitcast reels, which this one here is. In the name itself, the Morethan is the model of it. Okay, it's a very premium model, and I'm very excited to have this particular model because it's been a while since I bought a really premium, very sort of exclusive baitcast reel made by Daiwa. And I was really waiting around for this particular one because it's one of few that are actually saltwater ready. All right, I primarily fish in saltwater, and therefore I need that saltwater corrosion resistant those sort of features within my baitcast reel. All right, so the name in the name it says PE. What PE stands for is polyethylene. What polyethylene is it's the scientific name for braided lines. Okay, so you get different types of braided lines. You get different types of lines altogether. Actually, you get monofilament, you get fluorocarbon, and braid is another type. So braid, like I said, is the common name. It's pretty much fibers that have been braided into one another to create a really strong line, really. Okay. The SV in the name has got to do with the spool that it does have. You can see there it says SV. It's a special type of model of spool that Daiwa have in some of their more high-end reels, and certainly you can buy SV spools for upgraded aftermarket spools for some of your existing Daiwas. Okay, but SV is really pretty much a very lightened, super tuned, and very well made and very precise made spool. Very refined spool that will actually let you cast incredibly light lures. Anything down to the weight of about, say, 4 grams, and you can still easily cast that particular lure that only weighs 4 grams, which is like what's 4 grams? Probably 1/8 of an ounce, which is incredible. Okay. So we all know that with baitcasters, you do get difficulty casting lures once you get to a certain weight. That's why a lot of people still use spinning gear because as you release your bail and cast, there's no friction or there's no mechanical side of it. It's simply the line running off that spool. With baitcasters, they're set up in a different way. So a lot of companies try their best and try to create certain technologies that will help you cast an incredibly light lure a very far distance. All right, so in the name as well, lastly, 8.1. 8.1's got to do with its speed of retrieve. All right, so what 8.1 means is to every one turn, I'll show you here. It's about horizontal there. Let's pretend that in this position, if you turn and crank that handle in 1 revolution, I've just got back to my original starting position there, that spool is going to turn 8.1 revolutions around. So once again, in this position, watch the spool. If I turn it 1 revolution with the handle, that spool here is going to turn 8.1 times. All right, most low profile baitcasters, they've got speed ratios of anything from around about your 1 to 5. Anything up to really fast reels are around about 7.3 is pretty fast, guys. 8.1 is absolutely burning. It's actually to a point where it's a little bit too fast, I reckon. And then you're going to really have to slow down how fast you turn that handle, because it is actually going to retrieve your line for every 1 turn. All right, the rating is 8.1 turns, revolutions on that spool, but it equals to approximately about 8.3 excuse me, not 8.3, 83 centimeters of turn every time you turn that handle one time, guys. So that's a lot of retrieve, guys. That's not far off being a meter's worth of line retrieve for one turn of the handle. All right, now where I really like this reel is because at 8.1, it's obviously a fast reel, but generally with faster reels, you lose in cranking power. What that means is the ability to, every time you turn your handle, to have a lot of torque and ability to pull that fish in. But what was really special about this reel to me was that this reel is a premium version of Daiwa's incredibly popular titular or tatular reel, whichever part in the world you want and how you want to pronounce that, that's up to you, but it's titular or tatular. All right, it was one of the first Daiwa reels to actually have something called the T-wing system. Daiwa had a technology with their T-wing system with one of their first reels, the first reel to ever have it, which was called the T3, but it had some issues with it. Okay, I don't want to go too much into that, guys, but what the T-wing system is as your line feeds through that little hole here, and please do look up on the internet, because this is more about this, this video is more about this reel as it is opposed to certain technologies and explaining everything in full. But like I said, please check up on the video, on the internet, I should say, guys. That little hole there is where your line would be feeding back through there, and as you're spinning, that line sort of feeder is going to nicely lay out that line. As you can see, it's spinning left to right, like so. All right, see that gold line feeder? Spinning left to right simply so you can lay the line on that spool like that. Okay? But the issue is, as you're about to cast, and you cast it, just like nearly every single one of your bait cast reels available, the line has to exit through that hole and then come out through. It has to come off the spool and then travel through that hole. But if that hole's a really small hole, you're going to be getting this sort of action with the line. It's going to be spinning out on the spool like so. That sort of angle is going to cause more resistance because it's quite a tight angle. Okay? But where the T-wing system is quite special is as you're about to cast and you release that spool by going like so, you're going to have that much space there. So once again, I'll show you. It's going to flip forward, and it's in that position, and watch this, it's gonna that line feeder is gonna slip forward like so. So watch this, and sorry, there we go, it's just flipped forward into that position, giving you all that room here, that area for the line to freely move from. So it doesn't matter, even if the line's on that side, it's gonna have quite much more of a lesser angle or harsher angle that it has to travel through that little hole there. All right, so that's the T-wing system design, guys. Let's talk about the actual physical materials of this particular reel. You're going to be getting Daiwa's Zion material, which is their manufactured and well, it's a special material blend of different forms of elements that they've created, and they've called it Zion because it's very strong, and it's incredibly light as well. But it's a nice combination between the two. It also has aircraft grade aluminium components in there as well, guys. So aluminium's an incredibly light metal, but at the same time it can be quite weak in terms of its ability to bend. But the aircraft grade stuff is incredibly light, okay, but at the same time incredibly strong as well, guys. All right, and a fair few components within this reel is made up of them, okay. It's got a technology that a lot of your premium Daiwa reels have. Their spinning models and their some of their baitcasters will have. It's the Magsealed system. What MAG stands for is magnetically sealed. So there's certain magnets within certain areas of the reel where water can generally penetrate. But this particular Magseal has got a special type of oil that they put in there that has special... Look, I don't want to go too deep into it, but it's a special build of oil that helps magnetically push water away from it. So therefore water cannot penetrate into those tighter gaps, causing corrosion. All right, guys? Bit of information for you there. It says more than PE SV 8.1 R, standing for the right hand version, which is what I've got here, and TW stands for T-wing. 8.1 as in like that speed that I was talking about, with the how fast you, I should say how many turns of the handle equaling to 8.1 turns of the spool, guys. When you first look at this reel and out of the package, you're going to notice it feels very solid and very refined and very super tuned. You know, certainly with areas like this here that's been anodized, it's all been machine cut out there, this area around here. And then what's really special about this as well, and certainly on a lot of premium baitcasters, you're going to be getting this where that spool tension, okay, so this knob here is the spool tension. It's a clicking type of spool tension, so have a listen. Very precise. And they've got certain dots every so often to help you out with, I suppose, visually as well. Very nice and grippy as well, guys. So if I just zoom into that for you, it's got a very nice machined finish there that has been, that's quite obviously grippy as well. Also, you're going to be getting a little dot on here to help you distinguish whereabouts you've about turned it, to help you well, micromanage how much tension you want on that spool there. You're going to be getting a carbon fiber look around this section here. These bits here are cut out through where your finger would be resting, guys, and it feels very comfortable. It's just like a lot of your other low profile Daiwa reels, but it is a very comfortable one. And where you will really notice is what I was talking about before. This area is really fat with these sections here, okay, with those sections there, and also a very fat, nice, big spool tension knob there, guys. It's so large that it's that section there has had to be machined out just to fit that in, which a lot of your premium Daiwa reels will have. All right, so one thing that was a little bit of a disappointment is that this is Daiwa's one of their absolute standout and premium baitcast reels, but yet it's made in Thailand, guys. You know, Daiwa have outsourced the manufacturing of some of their reels to different parts of the world. It's just the way that, you know, the commercial world has turned to now. And only a handful of Daiwa reels are still created in Japan, and same that goes to that also goes to show, also goes with brands like Shimano as well. You know, all their premium ones will be made in Japan. This is no doubt, guys, a premium reel, but it has been outsourced to another country, which is a little bit disappointing. I would have liked it if it was to be manufactured in Japan. On your spool release there, which is that knob, that chrome knob that I'm pressing now, it says more than on it as well. On this side, it does look a little bit boring, I got to admit. It is simply Daiwa's new sort of this season's design, where they've just got that D symbol there. And then also with your magnetic braking system here, there's a little sort of like a dot right there against the body to help you adjust this section here. Now, where it's different is that there's 20 levels of adjustment, but they actually stop the numbers at 16, and then the rest is just like these little dots there. And that goes, that's the same situation where it's on the more freer side on that end there. That's completely free, but they start measuring it in terms of numbers with the number 6 there. So if I show you that, sorry guys for the reflection there, number 6. All right, so I'll just zoom back out there. The SV spool is, like I said, that's super tuned, very high grade aircraft aluminium spool that is very, very light. Alright, and the pinion gear itself is a shortened pinion gear, unlike the Tatula. So if you've got the Tatula and you're hoping to get this particular spool, you really can't get it, because this is a specialized spool just for this. Alright, it's got 11 ball bearings, guys. It's got a hell of a lot of ball bearings in there. 11 all up, and then one for your, let's have a look here. One for the roller bearing as well, guys. It's got a maximum drag of 5 kilograms. So if I just lock in that drag there, that's a maximum of 5 kilograms. The reel itself does weigh 220 grams, okay? It is not a light a reel, but it's certainly lighter than a lot of your than this season's bait casting models, guys. And it does have larger components on it, a lot of like heavier, beefed up, tuned components, but it's still relatively light. It's quite lighter than, say, your TD Soul, which I own as well, and the Zillion as well, guys. It is a hell of a lot lighter than that. All right, so let's have a look here. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about this in terms of its features and what it does have in this particular reel, guys. Alright, so the Daiwa Morethan PE SV is a super tuned, solid bait casting reel that casts really far. Alright, features like the SV ultralight spool made of ESD, or aircraft aluminium aircraft grade Duralumin is what they call it, Duralumin. Alright, so is the material that they call it. Its gearing system inside here, guys, is Daiwa's premium Hyper Digi-Gear system. It's got a clicking spool drag as well. Alright, so clicking spool drag is as you adjust the drag here. Let's have a listen to it. Alright, not unusual. A lot of your, not a lot, but you know, most of your divers will have that. It's also got a Magsealed rust-free ball bearing pinion gear as well. Alright, and it's got the Mag Force. Its braking system is the Mag Force air brake system. Okay, guys? One of Daiwa's premium braking systems for you there. Like I said, the T-wing system here. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm just reading off this off the website that I've been able to find as well. Okay. The PE stands for polyethylene. It's made so you can use that PE or braided line without any troubles there, and you're going to be able to cast it quite far. Alright, so some of the points that this particular website that I've come across anyways, there's not a lot of information on this particular reel, so I'll be doing a second part to this review, and it's going to be more on my opinions and on-water abilities as well, guys. Alright, so MagForce magnetic braking system, 20 levels of adjustable of adjustment on externally on the outside on that section there, guys. You're going to be getting that T-wing system, like I said, clicking drag. Alright, cool, clicking drag when lines are pulled. This is actually one of the main reasons why I've actually bought this reel here. A lot of your bait cast reels now, as if a fish gets on and they pull that line away from this section here, and then your spool spins like that, that's pretty much all you're really going to hear is maybe that spool sort of like spinning really quickly. When this section is running with this particular bait, you're actually going to hear a clicking sound, just like a lot of your spin reels. Check this out. Hear that little clicking there? It's one of few baitcasters that I know of that actually have got a clicking drag as the line is being pulled out. Hence one of the reasons why I wanted to get it as well. Let's have a look here. The SV spool itself is a very shallow spool. So if I show you there, it's incredibly shallow. It's not a deep spool at all. And the advantages of a shallow spool is that as line has been spooled up on there, the thicker the amount of line, let's say for example that was a really deep spool, and there was heaps of line there, so then you can have, you know, if you are fighting a fish and then the fish runs really far, like say for example 150 meters, you're still going to have a lot of line there. This is shallow. The reason why it's shallow is because the less line or the less braid that you have there, the more sensitivity and direct feel that you will have on your hands, guys. So it's got to do with the sensitivity as well, with that lighter spool. Also with a shallower spool, what you're going to be getting is less line on there, therefore making it a lot lighter and easier to cast as well. Alright, moving on to the mag-sealed rust-free pinion ball bearings. 90 centimeter swept back handle. So when they say swept, they mean like this. It's been pushed in on that section there. Alright, so if it's not swept, it's going to be completely straight from here. But that section bends in there, giving you a bit more sort of cranking and leverage there as well. Alright, let's have a look. What else is next? Zion Engineering plastic side covers to remove weight. You do have that aircraft aluminium drag star there. Clicking drag, clicking I should say spool tension. Okay, and very importantly, the drag system within this area here is Daiwa's Ultimate Tournament Drag. It is the waterproof edition as well, guys. So no water will get in there hurting those carbon materials that are in there to create that drag. Okay. It is saltwater fine, guys, so you are able to actually fish this in salt water. Doesn't matter what reel you have, guys, please maintain it if you are going to go into the salt. It doesn't matter if it's saltwater ready, salt will hurt every single thing that you can think of. Alright, so that's pretty much the end of the review. It's been a really long review, but you know, I looked on the internet and I really wanted to watch a video about this particular reel, and I didn't really find too much about it whatsoever. So I hope this has been a very informative video for you, and stick around right now because I'm going to take a lot of different photographs from different angles to show you the different you know, different angles of this particular reel. Yeah, cool. I'm super excited to get this reel this morning, and I'm going to right now put on some Sunline PE 20-pound Super PE 20-pound braid. Guys, if you want to know what is the best braid in the world, do not hesitate. Use Sunline Super PE. It's as simple as that. I've tested so many different braids that it's almost a joke. Okay, I've spent a lot of money on testing different types of braids, and this is by far, not even close, the best type of braid that you can get. Here, I'll actually show you a picture of what it looks like. Before I finish off the video, that's what it comes in. That's what you're going to be looking at there. Alright, Sunline Super PE braid. I went with 30 pounds with this. It's a bit excessive, guys, but I'm really into my heavier sort of lines for the fish that I try to catch. It's like barramundi and mangrove jacks. You don't want to be messing around with those sort of fish, alright? So, alright. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. If you have any questions, guys, I know that there's going to be a lot of questions on this particular reel. Please comment below and I'll try my best to answer them. Please hit the subscribe button as well, because I'll be doing a second part of this review. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys watching through the whole video. It's been like 25 minutes, which is crazy. But yeah, I hope it's been a real help. And yeah, stick around right now for the photographs of this particular reel. Catch us around next time, guys. See yous.